Hey guys, MetalJesus here, and I am back again with the Immortal John Hancock. How's it going, dude?
Always a pleasure to be here. Today we're going to talk about stupidly rare and expensive GameCube games.
That's right, this is going to be awesome. Let's take a look. All right, dude, what's the first game?
Go Hypergrind.
You showed me this. This is weird. All right, what is this?
Cell shading, Atlas published it, and it's really kind of like a 3D world. There's skateboarding. It's really hard to explain. You got to check it out.
It's tied with Ren and Stimpy on some level, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's, you got to check it out. It's really strange, bizarre, and something you would expect Atlas to make.
And why do you think this is one of the rare and expensive games?
Well, at the time, Atlas was a company that produced games. They published games in very low production, and so typically, I worked at a GameStop at the time, and a GameStop would receive maybe 1 or 2 copies of this brand new.
Oh, sure.
And so this would be labeled what some stores would call a C title, which is something that you would get a few copies of, and it wouldn't be promoted heavily.
I see. And since it only came out on the GameCube, as far as we know, and people are going for complete collections, this is one of those where you'd have to get.
Yeah, and it's interesting.
Yeah, totally.
All right. Next up, Skies of Arcadia.
Yes, a Dreamcast conversion, right?
Yeah, so they fixed some of the bugs of the Skies of Arcadia on the Dreamcast, added some enemies, added some graphic effects, and this is the definitive version. It's like, Skies of Arcadia Director's Cut.
Okay.
This would be the better version to play, and I just so happen to have a sealed copy.
I saw that. Yeah. Sealed.
Yeah.
Sealed!
All right. So, the next up, I have 2, not 1, but 2 Legend of Zelda collector discs. This is a promotional disc that was a bundle with a GameCube system, and it has a not for resale on it, also known as NFR.
Okay.
And this came bundled with a GameCube with a special sticker on it, including 4 Zelda games.
I see. Okay. Which is really cool, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, for a pack-in, this is pretty awesome.
Yeah, 2 classic Zelda games, and then 2 the N64 Zelda games.
Yeah, okay. But this technically was never in stores, so that's why it would be so hard to find.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. All right, the next Zelda bonus disc is the Ocarina of Time and the Master Quest.
Right.
And so this was a pre-order bonus for pre-ordering Wind Waker.
Wow.
And so you go to a GameStop and it had a stack of these and like,
how many people are kicking themselves for not pre-ordering that today?
I'm glad I did.
So that's from back in the day.
Yeah.
Of course you did.
Yeah. So it's also important to note that sometimes a common game can be very valuable if it has its original seal. And this is just one example. I showed Skies of Arcadia, but even Wind Waker here, and has its original Y-fold seal, and that's a type of seal. And sealed games, especially if they're graded or even just legitimately verified, are valuable.
Yeah.
And so that's just an example of a common game. It's sealed, so therefore it's worth a lot more because it has a seal on it.
It must be a little bit uncommon for this. So, this game would sell well, right? And most people who would buy it would open it because it's Zelda,
It's like Halo, right?
Yeah.
Like a sealed Halo is a lot harder to find because everybody who bought that, most people
played it. Yeah. Wow. Now, and there are, I guess we should also acknowledge that there are some people out there, these crazy people who try to go for complete sealed collections.
Yeah, not me.
No, certainly not me either. But they're out there. I mean, you see, I've talked to some people online who are going for complete PlayStation 2 sealed collections, which is be insane, right?
That's insane.
Yeah. So okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Next up is a cover variant that I don't know a ton about other than this is Bounty Hunter.
Very common, pretty common in here. That's the version that I have.
Yep. And a great game.
Right. Yeah. Although, well, okay. I mean, it's Boba Fett, so I'm like, or is it Boba or Jango?
Jango Fett.
Ooh. I corrected myself though, right? Because I was like, that's around the time when it was Jango Fett.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay. But you showed me this cover and I was like, what the heck is that?
So there was a limited edition cover art. So I don't know if this was a store exclusive It might have been. I don't know all the details. I know it was out there, and I hunted for it and found a copy off eBay.
Wow!
And it doesn't look like the original Shrink, as you mentioned, but it's hard to find. So the GameCube Bounty Hunter with a limited cover art.
Yeah.
Definitely hard to find.
Wow, I've never seen that before. That's really cool. This is a game I've been looking for a long time, and this is surprisingly hard to get and very expensive.
Yeah, this is Cubivore, and this is a game I beat, and this is the type of game I really enjoyed. I was in a period of my time gaming that I was really looking for the different experience.
Yeah.
This is definitely different. So you play a creature that evolves over time, and it's got a really great evolution mechanic in it, and it's like a kind of a 3D game. You have to figure out things and survive. And it's great. I really enjoyed this. Played it through. Yep.
Yeah, it's definitely one of them that comes up when people talk about some of their favorite games on the GameCube, and I believe it's exclusive to it.
Yes.
Speaking of exclusives, this next one is also exclusive to the GameCube. It happens to be a fantastic game, and I think that's the reason why it is so expensive. It's Gotcha Force. So I have a copy of this game as well. I got very lucky buying it. It's very sought after. It's one of those games, one of those few games that's rare, that is good, that people want to get if they have the system.
And the GameCube had actually a lot of great rare games or sought after games. And I think it's important to know to separate rare from valuable. And GameCube is kind of a fine line because it's out of print. And a lot of copies are on eBay, and you might find multiple copies, but they're going to set you back a bit.
Yeah, and I think it's because so many people want to play them, and Gotcha Force is certainly one of those. This is another one here too. I mean, it's funny. I was thinking about so this is Fire Emblem. I forget what its subtitle is.
Path of Radiance.
Yeah. Don't you think that there was a time when in North America most people didn't know about Fire Emblem?
Yeah,
because it's been around since like the Famicom.
Yeah, it's been around a long time. And we got it late, and really Nintendo was kind of realized that, and then started promoting, especially on like Game Boy Advance
and the 3DS, especially
and the 3DS. But GameCube and Game Boy Advance were really promoting Fire Emblem games. And this is amazing. This is an amazing.
Yeah,
game.
I played some of that too. I know. So,
all right.
This was another one where you surprised me. I was like, "What? Is this game kind of hard to find?" Well,
so this is a normal version of Phantasy Star Online. Episode 1 and 2, and this is a great. This is, by the way, this is my opinion, one of the best ways to play Phantasy Star Online.
I've heard this,
because it has 4-player co-op, and I love that.
Yeah,
and it's fun. So this is a copy. This is the version that you find.
Yeah, and I've seen that one before.
Not too bad.
Yeah,
this is the version you don't find.
Okay.
And what they did is they fixed some bugs, and they added some different areas to it, added some additional content. And this came out later.
And this one's designated by A+.
Yeah,
that's the difference.
And the cover's different, and the manual's different, but the disc, you have to look really, really, really close, and it says "Bing Plus." So yeah.
That's always the annoying thing about a collector, right? It's like,
that's right.
You have to really pay attention.
But wait, there's more.
Okay.
So that's not the only thing that's really hard to find for the GameCube.
I am so glad you brought this up. I completely forgot about this.
So I showed him this.
Yes.
And this is the Game Boy Player startup disc. A lot of people forget
that
the Game Boy Player for the GameCube that attaches to the bottom of the unit actually takes a startup disc. The sleeve for the case is really hard to find.
I didn't even know this thing had a sleeve until you showed me this.
And it usually comes like this in this strange plastic case that, by the way, doesn't match with anything else. That bugs me.
I know. But the truth is, though, is that you'll find the player, the attachment to the bottom of it, but this is the thing that you won't find. Yeah,
and it comes with a little booklet and a disc. And you never find this.
Wait, with the slipcover, I had no idea. That's so funny. I've seen these. Occasionally I see these at expos. I had no idea I had that. That's so funny.
Yeah.
And then there's a couple other games, too, that we want to mention as well.
So there's a pack-in, a Metroid Zelda Wind Waker 2-pack. And it came out late. And that is really hard to get. Now, I don't have it in my collection. It's hard to spend hundreds of dollars on something. And it's the same game, and it's the same manuals. It's just the cover it shows both the artwork.
But if you see it out there, you should definitely pick it up.
Yeah, definitely. The other thing is actually a non-game. It's Pokemon Box, and it's for Ruby and Sapphire to organize your manage your materials on your Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. I love how at this time Nintendo did have the connectivity from the Game Boy Advance to the GameCube, and this is what this is using. Yeah. So I could see. I bet you Kelsey probably has.
Oh
this.
Yeah, yeah. And I want to say I'm not the Pokemon expert,
right?
But this one I do believe is a Nintendo World Store exclusive in the United States, so that's why it's really hard to get.
Right.
And it's technically you can, I guess, technically have a game collection and not have this because it's not a game. All right, next one, NCAA 2K3.
A sports game. Yeah. I think this is so fascinating when there are these, what seem to be very common sports games. Yeah. And there's this one year that it's like stupid expensive.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is not the only sports game that's hard to get. There's also the Disney Sports series. I do believe Disney Sports Basketball.
Okay.
But really, like, there's always that one sport title. Almost every console that's successful has it.
Yeah.
NCAA 2K3, really hard to get, and also some of the Disney Sports line are hard to get as well.
Wow, that's amazing, isn't it? Yeah. Man, I don't know about you though, but I know you are actively collecting for the GameCube right now. And
I'm missing a couple of these. Yeah,
I know, and I am as well. And so some of these games are on my list for sure. Like especially Cubivore.
Oh yeah.
I've been wanting that game for a while, but. The challenge is, of course, is that when you do find it's usually at an expo, and they are charging what it's worth, and it makes my wallet shake as I hand it to. So I haven't pulled the trigger just yet, but I will one of these days. But all right, guys, we'd love to know what you thought about this video down in the comments. Where can people find you on the internet?
You can search John Hancock. I have my own channel, and love to hear from you folks, as many of my subscribers come from your channel.
Absolutely. You've been on my channel for many years. It's always a pleasure, dude. Yeah. Actually, I should mention, though, that we've done a bunch of these because you do have an amazing collection. So one of my favorites was the N64 one we did.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, again, another Nintendo system that just has amazing, rare, and expensive games. So it's cool. All right. Thanks, guys, for watching. Take care. The GameCube is one of those Nintendo systems that I don't really play often, but every time I go back to it, I'm always blown away by just how well designed that system is. I kind of feel like it doesn't get the love it deserves, and I think there's going to come a time when the GameCube is going to get its day when it comes to collecting, and I'm glad I got a jump on a lot of those games early. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.